So the Lions, as we mentioned, prepare to take on the 49ers. The 49ers hosting the Lions on Sunday. This is the first time the Lions have advanced to an NFC Championship game since the 1991 season. Peter, what happened in that game?
Can we go to RFK Stadium?
Let's
January
do it.
12th, 1992. We've got highlights! 4th and 1 early. Do you know who that is? That's Gerald Riggs, the former Falcons legend, getting a ring with the Redskins later on in his career. 37 with the spike. That's an early one. They go up 17-10. And that's Andre Collins sacking Eric Kramer. Late in the third quarter, look at this throw by Mark Rypien. Look how much time he has. Not much. There's pressure coming, and then just whoop, that giant cannon from Rypien to you-know-who, Gary Clark. 27-10 Washington. They're rolling. Rypien was feeling it. Fourth quarter, some more of the same. Rypien looking, rolling. Art Monk, Hall of Famer in the back of the end zone. It's 34-10. They put in Andre Ware, the Heisman Trophy winner. Can you do something? Andre at the University of Houston comes in. Who's that, Kyle? That's Darryl Green. No, it's Darryl Green to the house. 41-10, Washington rolls. I want to see the greatest Gatorade shower ever. Watch how unfazed Joe Gibbs is here. He just gets doused with Gatorade, like kind of flinches, and then just goes right along. Smiles. Well, that was fun. A lot of famous players on this Washington team. A lot of famous players on this Detroit team, including Herman Moore and, of course, Barry Sanders. And the quarterback that day, Eric Kramer. It did not go well, but that is the last time that the Lions have played an NFC Championship game. Washington, of course, would go on to beat the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Peter Schrager celebrating Throwback Thursday on a Tuesday. It's obviously been a minute for Detroit. So what does another trip to the NFC Championship game mean for Lions fans, Jason?
I look at this, and you went back to 91, which is so cool just to see all of those guys. Seeing Ernest Biner in there. Yeah. He was a running backs coach when I was in Tennessee, my rookie year, EB, representing back in the day. But I look at this, and I don't go all the way back to 91. I go back to the origin story of this Lions football team when it started with Dan Campbell, January 21st of 2021. Roll the clip of Dan Campbell, please.
This team's going to be built on we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
So we talked about we're going to be on best arrival fits to the Sunday games by the players. Dan Campbell showed up. He has the blue shirt on, has the hair going, the whole thing going. And I look at Dan Campbell in that press conference. And if you want to be amused, just go back on Twitter and find that press conference and go read the comments of what fans were just saying. All right, Lions, start your coaching search for 2022. Yeah. This won't last 3 years. Fans were absolutely going in. Members of the sports media were just going in on Dan Campbell, the biting the kneecaps, and all of that. And it was almost like a big joke back in 2021. And you fast forward to now and everything that's gone on in between it. Dan Campbell only won 3 games his first year as a Lions head coach. That next year, they started that season off 1-6. That is four games winning in his first 24 as a head coach for the Detroit Lions. But they had a plan, and they believed in what Dan Campbell was preaching. The players bought into what he was selling. We watched him on Hard Knocks. We watched Aaron Glenn, Deuce Staley. We watched the way this coaching staff came together, the way they challenged the players, and how they all were accountable. We watched Jamal Williams stand up and be in tears on Hard Knocks. And you're trying to figure out whether this Lions team was for real or not. And they finished the season off so hot last year, and they carried it into this season, beating the Kansas City Chiefs week 1. And then they've continued to roll throughout. And this is a team playing the NFC Championship game. When you ask what will it mean to the Lions, it'll be everything. Everything from 1991 when they lost that game to the Redskins to now of what they've gone through as a franchise, as fans, as members of that team, to now be playing in the NFC Championship game, 1 game away from being able to represent that city in Super Bowl 58. It's just amazing to sit here as a fan and watch everything they've gone through. And this Lions team with Jared Goff at the helm, how fun they've been to watch.
A lot of takes after that press conference.
So many.
Like, this is the best we can come up with to be a leader. A lot of people saying that about a lot of things now. But listen, we showed the 1991, and I get it, and I scratched the nostalgia itch and everything. I think it's perfect, though, in this sense that, like, clearly in that game, they got behind early and they couldn't get Barry involved. Barry finished with 11 carries. I'm sure they wanted to have him 30 carries. He got 11. it's so different. If this Detroit team gets down, fine. I feel like they have the ability to come back. This is not 1991. They are not a Barry Sanders product. And there's also a take that I see now. It's like a really nice, sweet take about, Lions fans, if you have any way to possibly do it, make the trip to this game. You never know when you're going to get in. It might be another 30 years. That's such BS. Stop saying that and stop thinking like that. If you can't go to the game or you don't want to or it's too expensive, don't go. You'll have playoff games next year. This is not this thing about this is the one special year and next time it's going to be your grandkids. It's so stupid. This team is built. You know what the point this is like for fans? It's a business trip. We're going to win this game and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. Do you know, there's a million things to talk about here. One, first of all, it'd be very cool if Jared Goff wins this game. He'll be the 5th guy ever to start a Super Bowl for 2 different teams. Super Bowl. That's a really 5 people ever, and it's Kurt and it's Peyton and it's Brady. That'd be a great list. But also we're going to talk about this all week. I think there's an expectation, they're kind of showing up to give the Niners a good game, and then the Shanahan machine's going to run over them. The Deebo Samuel injury is massive, massive. Have you seen these numbers? These are going to be really, really hot this week. With Deebo Samuel in the lineup and healthy under Kyle Shanahan, the Niners are 53-23. It's an amazing record. Yeah. Without Deebo, they are 8-9. They are a sub-500 team. It plummets. He's a huge difference maker. So even if he does go this week, I don't know if it's going to be real Deebo. I'm telling you, my pinky is itching on this pick. On the Lions at the Niners. I like what they have going. So fans, yes, it's fun. It's exciting. But 2 weeks ago, you took care of that. Oh, my God, we're in the playoff. You took care of it. And you won. And then guess what? You won again. So that's all done. If you want to go to the game because you think it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I'm telling you, it's not. It's not a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Go, great, have your fun. If you don't, you go next year and the year after that. You have great players and a great coach.
But this is one of these years where it just feels like, wait, we went to the Rose Bowl for Michigan. We went to Houston to watch Michigan go win a national title. We watched the game on Sunday night against the Rams where we won by a point. We went to the game on Sunday. Let's get the band together. Let's go on the road and let's just keep this thing riding. I feel like they should appreciate every moment because they've earned it.
They might be broke, Peter. I don't know. All those games, my gosh.
The auto industry's doing just fine, Kyle.
I hope so.
All right,
I love
let's go.
How many games are we going to fly to?
Keep it going. I look at what this fan base has been through. We saw Eric Kramer and Andre Ware. I'm sure Rodney Peete took a snap in that game also. Look at the starting quarterbacks just from week 1. Since the 91 season, just to think about the different eras. It's not like it's this list of the Browns quarterbacks because Stafford played in a bunch of them. It's not like they've had, but you're talking about Stoney Case started week 1.
Why isn't Stoney Case from 1942?
Stoney
it's 2000?
Charlie Batch had an era where they won a bunch of games. Scott Mitchell was pretty good, took them to the playoffs. Mike McMahon, Rutgers guy, he was in there. Harrington was a 3rd overall pick. Kitna, of course, comes on over from the Bengals and started 3 different opening. So it's not this crazy, but you could really find yourself as a Lions fan. Think about the uniforms, think about the Thanksgiving days, think about all the week 1s, and it's like, wait, we have a new era now, and it's the Goff era, and I am pretty confident it's going to be the Campbell era for a long time, and it's going to be, unless these offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator both get poached, which they might, there's going to be some consistency with the way that this team plays, to your point. I don't think it's a flash in the pan. I certainly don't think this is a one-and-done team where next year they're on the rebuilding chain. If I'm a Lions fan, I'm really enjoying this ride, but I'm with you on this thing. I'm getting settled in because I don't think it's just 1 year.
And just a final point. I'm going to go so far now as I'm going to say, don't go to this game. Don't go to this game. You know why?
You're that confident.
You know
Are they allowed to go to Las Vegas?
You know why? Save the money for Las Vegas. Just put it that way. You got another trip going on. That's what I'm going to say.
You're that confident. On Tuesday. Okay.
So your pinky is not itching anymore. It's set. It is actually steady, that pinky has become.
I'm liking the Lions. Don't go to San Francisco. Go to Vegas.
Okay, 4th quarter, Dan Campbell versus Kyle Shanahan in a showdown here, and it's going to be their offense.
See, I like what you're getting into because it's like, it's the genius versus the caveman. You ever seen the Lions offensive coordinator? Is he pretty sharp? You think they got anybody on that staff who can coach? It's not just Shanahan. We bow down to you, all right? You got McCaffrey. We got Gibbs. We got Kittle. We got Laporta. We got guys. We got coaches. Go to Vegas.
Vegas. Well, also Lions fans, just inherently, they just belong a little bit more in Vegas. That is one of their people. It is their personality trait. Napa is fine, and it's all well and good.
This is auto industry versus tech. I love this.
Oh,
this is General Motors versus Facebook.
Steve Jobs versus Joe Louis.
Let's go.
Oh my God, still to come on our